Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a rough decade. Time magazine called it the decade from hell, bookended by 9/11 at the start and a financial wipeout at the end. They claimed it was the most dispiriting and disillusioning decade Americans have lived through in the post-World War II era. We grew up in a time of tragedy, war, corruption, terrorism, recession, natural disaster, and Justin Bieber. One might think that after bearing witness to so much destruction, we would be reduced to a bunch of disillusioned millennium-era Hamlet wannabes, clad in black, contemplating our own existence, and writing terrible, terrible internet poetry. But we weren't. Even when our tears were our solace, and our hearts were our favorite source of pain, as the prolific MySpace poet, social_misanthrope put it, we managed to stick a colorful Band-Aid on our broken souls and move on. We didn't become disillusioned, we didn't become indifferent, and we didn't become, well, emo. Because let's be honest, we wouldn't be the same class of 2010 if we let the decade's disasters become our reason, our excuse, to lose our passion for becoming our best selves. Look at the people sitting around you. In the past 4 years, they have been passionate athletes, musicians, writers, actors, dancers, mathematicians, and robot unicorn attack players. Our sports teams have been exceptional. Our publications, unparalleled. Our performances, our artwork, our academics, our lemon chicken, outstanding. We did not become the lost generation 2.0. Instead, we realized that our decade from hell meant the best is yet to come, so we might as well enjoy ourselves. And we did. Who will ever forget the times they won for their team, the times their teacher finally gave them that well-deserved praise, the times they had the best interim ever, the times they didn't have to sneak into the honor roll brunch, or the times they saw Albie, Ishan, Jamie, John, and Ashan throw their pants into an unsuspecting crowd and dance in a way that made the administration extremely uncomfortable. We're lucky to be leaving precisely at the end of these 10 years. It means we get to enter the real world in a fresh decade. That or expectations are so low that we barely even have to try anymore, but let's go with the first one. The past year was an incredible time of transition for the world. We were witnesses, for example, to the momentous American political shift from George W. Bush to Barack Obama. But major change was present even in our own little tropical microcosm. We went from the middle to the top, from club members to club leaders, from considering colleges to prostrating ourselves before them, from eagerly anticipating our next interim trip to desperately clinging to the last, and from never wanting to graduate to wanting to graduate, and all the way back again today. We've been waiting for this moment since we first felt the pain of senioritis and the subsequent relief of second semester seniordom. Yet now that we've made it, the occasion is strangely bittersweet. On one hand, we're excited by the prospect of independence and new adventure. I would use some cliche about spreading our wings or a new chapter in our lives, but a year with Dr. Clark has taught me better. On the other hand, there are parts of us that wish we could go back and repeat just one more moment of our 4 years, just one more time, before we make the irreversible switch from student to alumni. One more pep rally, one more morning show, one more rugby game, one more cultural convention, one more 6-inch pizza sub on Parmesan oregano, and even one more Margaret Mead quote from Mr. Norcott. But more importantly, we want to do it together, as the class of 2010, as the class of the decade from hell. But that's enough reminiscing for now. Instead, just for a second, stop thinking about what you've done, about what you wish you could do again, and about what you want to do after this day. Stop. Feel what it's like to be here, right now. This is very likely the last moment we will all be together in a room as SAS seniors. In a few minutes, when we symbolically switch our tassels from right to left and toss our caps in the air, we will be SAS alumni. Think of the lifelong friends that you've made that will still be posting on your Facebook wall 20 years from now. Think of the teachers who inspired you, supported you, and tolerated you, even when you made fun of their funny tics and accent, Mr. Clemens. And maybe most importantly, think of your parents, who for the last 18 years sat through recitals, games, parent-teacher conferences, temper tantrums, award ceremonies, teenage angst, and now this long, long commencement, all in the name of supporting you. It's been a rough decade, ladies and gentlemen, but these are the people who have made it bearable, who have made it possible, and who've made it enjoyable. After today, we gain our long-awaited independence. We are set to transform the decade from hell, set to become the most notable of all the notable alumni on our Wikipedia page. We are ready to answer all of life's questions in the same way that Ted answers all of our questions on his form spring, but maybe with less questions about his sister. After today, our adult lives begin, and high school on our tropical island paradise becomes a bright memory in a bleak decade. Whether we'll have changed the world in 20 years, we can't say, but most of us can agree on one thing. It has been our privilege to be a part of this school, to be a part of each other's lives, and to be a part of the SAS class of 2010. Thank you.